Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the guy on the couch proudly brings to you a brand new episode of Sports Brillrants! Starting in football. As we close in on the big playoff week showdown in both fantasy sports and the actual sports in well, secondary nature to those of us in the fantasy playoffs. Playoffs! That's right, playoffs. Anyway, we got a big showdown with the New England Bums against the Flanderino crew, which should be a pretty interesting game, especially if the Broncos find a way to win it. That would be extra funny. Maybe Tebow would just like complete like a bunch of passes today or something like that. It would be pretty funny. So everybody could just, get off the. He doesn't even complete 48.5% of his passes. It's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. If you figure in, the 30 or so balls that have been dropped, and then the balls that he intentionally threw out of bounds because there was nobody open, and then you get a bunch of, miscommunications with receivers that you haven't worked a lot with. Which brings me to my awesome Broncos analogy. And that you figure, all right, well, if you figure in the drops for Tebow and, the miscommunications with receivers and throwing it out of bounds, be like, all right, well, figure that he'd be completing 60% of his passes, which is over 50%. And then you figure, all right, well, then it'd make Aaron Rodgers it'd make his numbers, like 90% or something like that. Which, it makes them higher, but not as much as Tebow's, because you figure in the Green Bay Packers offense is like the Batmobile. And Aaron Rodgers is like Bruce Wayne. He knows exactly how to drive that. It was built for him, customized. It is a well-oiled machine, precision, high-end, one-of-a-kind type of thing like that. Now, the Broncos and Tebow are more like, or actually not more like, exactly like a Dr. Emmett Brown's DeLorean. That's right, I just went back to the future on Tim Tebow. See, here's the thing. The DeLorean, while unique in its ways of being successful, sometimes stalls, like the DeLorean, and it's, also futuristic, hasn't really existed yet type car. Now, you'd be like, John Fox is kind of Michael J. Fox, which is funny that both Foxes, right? So that plays really well there. Pretty much unprepared to drive said DeLorean, didn't even get to pack his underwear or anything like that. Didn't even have anything for the way back because, if this Tim Tebow thing doesn't work out for John Fox and he lets it go for too long, he'll have no way back. Which, of course, would make Tim Tebow the Ned Flanders of the NFL, the flux capacitor. That's right. Directly striking him with 1.21 gigawatts in the fourth quarter of each game. Now tell me, that is not the best and most perfect and most fitting Back to the Future and Batmobile analogy. In the history of cars and sports analogies, it works at so many levels. So many levels. So, moving on. Side note for the remaining Bears fans out of there. Haven't you heard that drugs are the word? Sam heard. Holy shit. $4 million of drugs a week? It's hardcore. It's hardcore. I mean, I hope that, he can make it through 40 years of prison or so. Be a little rough. See, what people don't understand, this is bigger than Sam Hurd. This is big business. You think Sam Hurd's going to not take anyone down? Oh, people are going to go down with Sam Hurd. That's right. Watch New Jack City one too many times, Sam Hurd. You're not Nino. Well, technically, you could be Nino, except, I don't think anyone will shoot you in the hallway, probably. But still, making like, $4 million a year, with the Bears, it's not terrible. $3 million, whatever. And now you will, now will you, never play at the NFL again? And never leave a prison again, probably. That really sucks. Anyway, moving on to Q's Corner. Playing NC State the other night. Looked extra nasty, even though NC State came out strong against us at the beginning. We held on. Waiters looked amazing again, because Waiters is amazing. Fab Mel just looking like he belongs in a pro uniform now. I mean, got 10 guys you're going to play pro. It's ridiculous. We're just so much better than everybody out there right now. It's just, the depth is just the best depth that Syracuse has ever had in the history of the lifetime of their program. It is just phenomenal, top to bottom. I mean, just dunking on people, open threes, blocking shot. It's just incredible. All the way, top to bottom. I mean, Sutherland. How can we bring Sutherland off the bench? I mean, what other team in the country does, Sutherland come off the bench? It's just mean. It's just mean. Unspirited and mean the way that we're going to do people. I mean, not even in a couple more weeks before we even have a test, but I'll tell you what, we ain't going to be underdogs this season, Go undefeated, baby! Yeah! It can happen. It's, the idea of having the opportunity to go for a perfect regular season at least is pretty much the most entertaining thing Syracuse fans have left to look forward to. Sure, the conference games are fun, but we're gonna be number one seed, so let's try to win them all. Try to win them all. We can endure injuries as good as anybody can. We got all type of depth, NBA preseason starting up last couple days. It's nice to see. Return of ball night. Getting close. Christmas, here we come. My next episode, I'll come out with who's going to win, make the playoffs, all that good stuff. Fantasy guys, things like that. Like I said, fantasy drafts. Get young players, guys who are going to play a ton of minutes. Steer away from the old guys, the injury-prone guys who get time off. They get banged up, kind of things like that. Stay away from the guys who cost more than $50 in auction. You can build a better team depth than your bench actually plays, unlike in fantasy football. So there's no, who do I start? Well, not all the time. Not everybody is generally balling most nights. So there's teams off. You get guys. Don't get everybody on the same team, even if it's your favorite team. It's hard for me to resist doing that. It's generally the downfall of me when I take too many guys that I like, as opposed to my team guys kind of thing. Yay, Rockets look very kick-ass last night against the Spurs. Hope they don't trade anybody unless they're gonna go trade, for like Kobe, since he might want out of LA. Yeah, Kobe, take him, but not Paul Gasol. Everybody's looking good from where they stand right now, so need to go ahead and continue on that. Fantasy football advice for today: dance with who brung you. That's what I'm saying. Don't try any tricky dick shit. Just go with who you got in there. Go with your top men. That's right, top men. That's who you want to go with. Yeah. Nothing tricky. Anyway, moving on from there. What else are we going to talk about? Oh, yeah, the Yankees. Probably not going to win the bidding rights on Yu Darvish. That's fine. Don't need another dice case situation. Everybody says they can throw 95 until they get to Yankee Stadium, and then, lose like 4 miles of velocity. We got plenty of people who just need to get rid of Burnett. Bring in Gio. Somebody like that. Be fine. Yankees are just so good. I saw a rumor trade that we could trade Nova and Montero and Nova Montero and Ben Wellis or Betances for King Felix. Now I want Felix Hernandez, but not for Nova and Montero and Ben Wellis or Betances. Hell no! Don't you dare do that, Cashman. Hell no! No, 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 no. Bad. Bad. We're good enough. Get rid of Burnett. That's all we want from you, Yankees. It's not overwhelmingly difficult task. Just do it. Make it happen. Come on. Be a pain in the ass. Yeah. Well, that's all I got for this week. Or this segment, or whatever you want to call it. Gotta get my lineups in. Fantasy football. Good luck to everyone. Unless you're playing against me.